You know, some people are great at one thing, and then there are people who seem to master, well, everything. Today, we're talking about a man who was a soldier, a pastor, a scholar, and an entrepreneur. We're going to dive into the life of Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold and see how he wove all those different roles into one incredible life of service.
So you gotta ask, right? Soldier, pastor, scholar, entrepreneur. How does one person do all of that? Are these just separate jobs he had? Or is there something deeper connecting them? That's what we're going to figure out by looking at Dr. Antonio Arnold's life. We're going to see how a leader like him is really made.
Okay, so to really get who Dr. Arnold is, we have to go way back. His story as a leader didn't start in some fancy office or a university classroom. Nope. It started with the tough stuff, the challenges he faced as a kid.
His childhood in Petersburg, Virginia, well, it was anything but easy. After his mother passed, his dad, who was a master sergeant in the Army Reserve, was left to raise 4 kids all by himself. Their home was this old, drafty place with potbelly stoves for heat. It sounds tough, and it was, but it taught them something incredibly important: how to survive. You know, those early years were basically like a boot camp for life. His dad, being a master sergeant, ran the house like a military base. We're talking beds made to military standards every single morning. Chores weren't just chores, they were duties. Cutting firewood, shoveling coal, cleaning out ash, it was all part of the routine. So his dad gave him that incredible discipline, but it was his grandmother who laid down the spiritual groundwork that would guide him later on. The biggest lesson they learned? How to make the absolute best of whatever situation you're in. And all that resilience? Well, it didn't take long for it to morph into a fierce sense of self-reliance. And the thing that kicked it all off, believe it or not, was a lawnmower. It sounds so simple, right? But for a young Antonio Arnold, that lawnmower was everything. It was the key that opened up a whole new world of business and independence.
Oh yeah, his hustle was clear right from the start. It began with mowing a neighbor's lawn for just $5 a month. Then he was sweeping floors at the local barbershop. By the time he was 15, he joined the city's youth workers program and even opened his first bank account. But here's the real game changer. He took an electronics class. And what did he do? He started finding old TVs people threw out, fixed them up, and sold them for 100% profit. Come on. This wasn't just about making money. It was teaching him about resourcefulness, about stewardship, lessons that would become the bedrock of his ministry later on.
So as he got older, 2 very different but equally powerful paths started to open up for him. It was a dual calling, really, one to serve his country and another to serve his God.
His journey in uniform kicked off back in '84 with ROTC. He was commissioned as an infantry officer and served for a solid 12 years. But then, 9/11 happened. And like so many others, he felt that pull, that call to serve his country again. So he joined the Air National Guard. This deep-seated sense of duty eventually led him to the one role that could perfectly combine both of his callings. He became an Army chaplain. It was the perfect way to bring his faith to the very people who were serving on the front lines.
Now, even with this incredible military career, Dr. Arnold is crystal clear about what mattered most. He said that his call to the ministry, which happened in June of 2000, was, and I'm quoting him here, the most important occurrence in my life. He called it his life's blood. And that right there, that powerful conviction, that became the fuel for everything he did from that moment on.
So what do you get when you take the sharp, strategic mind of a military officer, mix it with the deep knowledge of a scholar, and then add the compassionate heart of a pastor? Well, you get a ministry that's unlike anything else, a ministry with a very special mission.
The core of his ministry is this idea he calls a church without walls. And it's such a powerful concept. It's simple, really, but pretty revolutionary. The whole idea is, instead of just waiting for people to show up at a church building on Sunday, you take the church to them. You go out into the community, meet people right where they are, and offer services and support, completely free, no strings attached.
And this is where you can really see that military strategist coming out. This isn't just a random list of nice things to do. No way. This is a full-blown, organized operation for engaging the community. You've got neighborhood carnivals, free workshops on things like parenting and finances, special services for veterans, even an online ministry. Each one of these is like a targeted mission designed to help the whole person, mind, body, and spirit. It's military-grade precision, but for a mission of pure compassion.
He brought that same innovative thinking to how he helped people one-on-one, too. You know how some counseling can go on for a long time, digging deep into the past? Well, he favored a different approach, a solution-focused model.
The idea isn't to just keep talking about the problem over and over. Instead, it's about working together to find solutions, right now. It puts the person in the driver's seat. They are the expert on their own life, and the goal is to find practical steps to move forward, often in just a handful of sessions.
And you know what's holding all of this together? A truly incredible commitment to always be learning. I mean, the man has multiple advanced degrees from Liberty University in theology and divinity. But he didn't just stop and say, okay, I'm done. Just in 2023, he got certifications from Cornell in stuff like AI and digital marketing. Can you believe that? He was always looking for the next tool, the next idea to make his ministry even better. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. You have the kid who learned resilience the hard way, the disciplined soldier, the forward-thinking pastor, the guy who never stopped learning. What kind of legacy does that create?
Well, the first thing is, it's a legacy built on partnership. He makes this incredibly clear in the dedication of his book. He says, and this is a direct quote, "I would be out of order if I don't mention my wife, Sheila Arnold." He calls her his crown supporter and helpmate for more than 30 years. It's such a powerful reminder that this incredible journey of service was never, ever a solo mission.
Honestly, his life is like a masterclass in what it means to be a truly balanced leader. The lessons are right there for us. First, take all your different skills and experiences and weave them into one mission. Second, never ever stop learning, always be curious. Third, remember to serve the whole person. It's not just about one thing, it's about their spiritual, physical, and practical needs. And maybe the biggest takeaway of all from Dr. Arnold's life is this: you have to lead with both compassion and precision. You need that caring heart and that strategic mind working together.
And that really brings us to a final question, one for you to think about. Dr. Arnold's story proves that all the different things we do in life, all the many hats we wear, they aren't just random. They're tools. They're part of our story. So take a second and think about it. What are the hats you wear? And how can you bring them all together to serve a purpose that's bigger than just yourself?